Welcome back to Wellness Wednesday, where we're going to focus on keeping our minds and bodies happy and healthy and a life full of balance, fun, and exploration. Today, we're going to focus on having an overall good day and spreading kindness. It's actually scientifically proven that helping others will help your own mental health, so it's a win-win-win situation. There's lots of ways that you can spread kindness, but today we're going to focus on making someone's day a little more sunshiny by sending them a card and a box of cookies. And we're going to learn today how to hand make a card and how to make some delicious no-bake cookies to send along with that card. So I'm looking forward to working with you in the kitchen and in the art studio, so come along and join me. So we're going to start on our card that we're going to make for someone. And one thing that you're going to need is an envelope. This can be any size, but whatever size envelope you have is going to determine how big a card you can make. I also have a couple pieces of paper here. You can use any kind of paper you want. I have some blue printer paper. Just normal printer paper would work fine too. And I also have some white cardstock. You don't need cardstock, but I enjoy coloring on cardstock, so I'm going to use some of that for my card today. I also have some scissors that I'm going to be using and some tape. And we can't forget the color. So I've just got some odds and ends in here and some colored pencils. While I am getting my paper to the correct size for my envelope, I should probably start thinking about who I might want to give this to. I'm thinking I want to make a card for my grandparents. Which means I will get one card out of each piece of paper. I'm just going to take my envelope and match it up to this corner here. And then I'll grab something to write with. And notice that I'm lining it up with the folded edge because I'm going to want that folded edge to hold my card together. So I'm not going to cut the folded edge. So line that up there with the corner of my paper. This will tell me how big I can make it. I'm going to want to cut on the inside of the line that I just drew. That way it's small enough to fit inside the envelope. I've decided I want the inside of my card and the outside of my card to be two different colors. So I'm actually going to need to cut both pieces of paper down to the correct size. So I'm going to take my blue paper and fold it in half as well. And then I'm going to take the creased edge of my blue folded paper and just kind of stick it right there inside of the other creased edge of my other paper. Make sure they're good and lined up. And while they're good and lined up, I'll go ahead and cut them both at the same time. So I am cutting significantly in from the line that I drew just to make sure that it fits easily inside of the envelope I have for it. And I'm going to make the blue the interior of the card, and the white's going to be the exterior of the card. Now, I'm going to do some crazy things with this card. Take advantage of this two-tone colors I'm using. So to make it more interesting, I'm going to take the white part of my card, which is the outside, and I'm going to add a little trim to this edge. There. Kind of looks like ocean waves. I haven't exactly decided what I'm going to put on this card yet. That probably would be a good thing to decide before you get started. Just so you can have an idea of whether you want to do like a wavy edge or a jagged edge or what kind of style you're going for. I'm just kind of winging it on mine. But now that I've cut this, once I put the blue inside of here, it's going to let some of that two-tone show from the outside, which I think looks really cool. And something else we can do with a 2-piece of paper card is we can actually turn it into a pop-up. So I'm going to take the interior part of my paper and I'm going to cut 2 lines. Notice that I'm working on the folded seam right here. And I'm going to cut 2 lines on that folded seam. Okay, so they go probably about 1.5 inches up, equally heighted there. And I'm going to open this up, and I'm actually going to poke the part that I just cut from behind, and then let it fold again. Okay, it doesn't look too impressive yet, but once I tuck this inside of the outside of my card, and I open it up, I'm going to have a little stair step here. And I can put something on that stair step, and when I open it, it'll pop up like a 3D card. Now, if you have something fun, maybe something you picked out of a magazine that says, "Be good to people for no reason," I feel like that's a good motto for what we're doing today. We're just writing a card for fun, making some cookies, making a friend's day a little better. But you could use something that's like from a magazine for your pop-up. But you do have to be careful of the size, because if I were to put this right here, that looks awesome, but when I go to fold it, it's going to stick out of my card that much, and that's not going to fit. So even sideways, I think it would be too big. Well, maybe not. Yeah, it looks like it'll still be a little bit too big. So you have to think about what is the size that you can use for your pop-up. And apparently whatever I use for my pop-up needs to be shorter than this space right here. And like I said, you can get that from a magazine, cut it out of scrapbook paper, or if you just want to get another piece of paper, you can cut something that's about that shape or that size to go in that space. So I think I noticed that mine was able to be about this tall. I'm just going to give myself a little guideline there. I'm going to cut out a shape to use for my pop-up. And this is like the maximum size I'm cutting out, which means I can cut whatever shape I want out of that now. It doesn't have to stay this awkward little rectangle. I could turn it into something super fun. But it can be about that big, and then when I close my card, it should be able to hide within the card pretty easily. But we will attach everything later, because if you attach everything right now and then you go to color on it, you're going to get these funny seam lines in your coloring. So now that I have little parts, I'm going to think about what I want to write inside of my card. When I see the colors that I have picked out here, the blue and the white, it kind of reminds me of clouds. So I might do something with the cloud. And we've been having some rainbows lately with this sunny weather combined with the rain. So I might do maybe like a cloud with a rainbow in the background. So now I have to think of what could I write to my grandparents that would be fun with a cloud and a rainbow. And I guess I'll just think about that a little bit while I draw. Okay, I got all the main elements here. think I'm ready to start putting on my saying and coloring this thing till it's gorgeous. Now remember, with your pop-up piece, just because you have this single piece here doesn't mean that's all you include for your pop-up. If I wanted to, I can take the rest of my paper here, think about how much space I have there that I haven't used, and I could make another piece tucks behind here. So if I'm wanting to do something rainbowy, I might want to add another piece here. I still want to keep it within that size frame that I have right here. And that's probably about how big that piece can be. Cut it about here. That way when it overlaps, I can put glue in this section, and then I can color the section above there. And then I'll just glue this over top and have one bigger piece that I can stick there, so I have my rainbow in my cloud there. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the saying, and I'm gonna put part of the saying on the front. And I've decided that the saying will be sending sunshine and rainbows, because that's basically what I'm wanting to do. I'm going to make their day a little bit brighter, make them smile. I'm going to work in cursive. I'm just going to start with a simple lettering. I'm going to go over it at a thickness for some of the letters. Maybe I want to take some artistic license with the word sunshine and replace the U in sunshine with a picture of a sun. I'm working with a pencil right now, which means if there's anything I don't like, I can always erase it and eggshell color. So it's not going to change the color too much, but the texture is going to look a lot smoother. And then we have these little windows of space here. And if I wanted to get real fancy, I can get an X-Acto knife and cut those areas between the clouds and the rainbow out. But I think I'm just going to get a blue colored pencil, kind of a light blue, similar to the paper, and just kind of color them in. Just a nice sky blue. Voila! A silver marker here. I'm gonna add some silver polka dots just here and there. Add a little sparkle to my cloud. It's getting time to attach our pieces. So I'm going to start with the outside. And I'm just going to put a few connector spots here. And I'm going to put the other connector spots on here. And we'll just tuck that in there. And once we close it, we'll get it attached on that side. And if it's not quite even, you can always adjust it a little bit. There. Okay, so that side's connected. And we're going to open up that side and put our connector spots in the same pose. There, there, one up here, and the last one right there. And just fold it real carefully. Voila! There you go. We've got the beginnings of our card here. And this just goes on our little stair step. So we're going to take another piece of tape. Throw it on right here. And attach this how we like it. Make sure it stays pretty well concealed. Pokes out a little bit, but not so much that it bothers me. That should still fit in the envelope pretty easily. Voila! So if we wanted to decorate the background here some more, we totally could. And I'm going to use this space down here to write my grandparents a little letter. If you're getting real fancy and you want to send a picture, you could tuck it in here, or you can even put more stuff on the back. There's so much you could do with these. But there is the basic beginnings of a card. But I highly recommend take the time and write a letter in this space, because those personal thoughts from you are much more exciting to receive than just a fun, catchy phrase that you found on the internet. So take the time, write a little letter down here at the bottom of your card, and send it to somebody wonderful who you want to make their day a little bit brighter and share some kindness with them. The next video is going to have the cookie recipe, so make sure you stay tuned for that, because a card and cookies is a great way to share kindness and joy with people. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'm going to finish my letter, get it sent out to my grandparents, and I'll see you in the cookie kitchen. Thanks for joining me today on this episode of Wellness Wednesdays. Go out there and spread some kindness and make the world a little brighter.